Welcome back. In the last step, before we start actually looking at the applications and building images for them, let's look at a few more interesting Docker commands. The first command we will be looking at is Docker events. What I'll do is I'll go to the second tab which is present in here. I'll do a clear and run Docker events. Initially, I'm not seeing much action happening. So I'll do a Docker container ls to see what containers are running right now. I have one container up and running, so let's stop it. So Docker container stop C710. Now, if you go to the next tab where we have Docker events, you can see that a lot of events are happening. The Docker events helps us to see what events are happening with Docker. You can see that this container is now being stopped. You can see that this container has disconnected from the network. You can see that this volume is unmounted. We'll talk about volumes a little later. Now, let's try and launch up another container. So I'll launch up the same image that we used earlier, -p 5000 -d in a detached mode, and let's launch it up. And over here, let's go to the events, and you can see that there are a lot more events which are happening. So if you want to see what's happening with your Docker environment, what is it doing, you can do Docker events and you can see what's happening in the background. It keeps running continuously. Now I'll do a Control-C to terminate the Docker events and do a clear. The other interesting command is Docker top. What does it do? The Docker top actually is used to check what is the top process which is running in a specific container. Let's do a Docker container ls, and this is the container ID which is running right now. So I can say Docker top and give the ID of the container. And you can see all the processes which are running in that specific container. You can see that there is just one process running in that container, and the process is the running of a jar. So java-jar /app.jar. The other interesting command is Docker stats. So Docker space stats, and this would show all the stats regarding the containers which are running. So right now we have one container which is running, and you can see what its name is, how much amount of CPU is it making use of, how much memory is it making use of. It is making use of about 320 MB. It has a limit of about 2 GB of memory, and you can see that it has a memory percentage. So it's using about 16% of the memory which is allocated to it, 320 out of 1.95. You can do the math. So you can see all the metrics, stats around your running containers. Now I would want to run another container from the same image. However, this one I would want to run it on port 5001, and for this one I'd want to add in specific memory and CPU limits. How can I assign that? I can tell over here saying -m 512m. So what I'm saying is this specific container can only use at a maximum 512 meg of memory, 512 megabytes of memory. You can also use something like 1 gig, or you can say 0.5 gig. So let's change it to 512m, and you can also assign a CPU quota. So you can say -CPU quota, and you can put in a value in here. Typically, the entire quota which is present is 100,000. So out of 100,000, which is 100%, how much CPU quota do you want to allocate to this specific container? I'll say around 5,000. So we are assigning 5% of the CPU to this specific container. That's a very less thing. So let's see what would happen. It tries to launch that container up, and over here you can see that over here this container is using about 5%. So this is where we are running our Docker events, actually Docker stats, and you can also see that the limit is now set to just 512 MB. And because it's using just 5%, it would be very slow in starting up. If I do a Docker container logs and say 3FB, actually I should have said -f 3FBs, you can see that it's hardly doing anything at all. So what I'll do is I'll give it a little bit more CPU. So I'll say docker container stop 3FB. Even the stop is taking a long time because we have not given it enough CPU, right? Even to do the stop, it needs to gracefully shut down, right? So let's do a run and let's give a CPU quota this time of a little bit more. So let's actually make it 50,000. So we are giving it half the CPU. And let's run this right now. And you'd see that right now it's using about 50%, that's half. And you can see down here that the amount of memory increase is much higher. So it's starting up faster. And now if I actually do a docker container logs -f on this particular one, 57F, right? So sorry, it's 57F. You can see that there are certain things that are happening. So not as fast as earlier because we are only assigning half the CPU, but you'd see that it's going fast enough. Let's close that, Control C, and what we are interested in is in the next command, which is called docker system df. What does it help us with? It helps us to look at all the different things that your Docker daemon manages. So Docker daemon manages your images, your containers. We'll talk about something called volumes a little later. You can see all the details around that. You can see that there are 2 images which are downloaded. You can see that one of them is active. You can see what's the size of them in total. You can see what are the containers which are present, how many of them are active, how much size are they making use of, and you can see all the local volumes. Cool. In this step, we looked at a few more commands. We looked at Docker events, which is used to monitor the events which are happening with your Docker engine or the Docker daemon. We looked at Docker top, which helps us to see all the processes which are running in a specific container. We looked at Docker stats, which gives us the stats for each of the containers which is running. How much memory is it making use of, how much CPU is making use of, and all that stuff. We also looked at Docker system DF, which helps us to look at what are the resources that are being managed by our Docker daemon and how much size each one of them have. And we also looked at how you can set memory and CPU limits for your containers. Until now, we have been playing with images which are already created. How about starting to create images? That's what we would be doing in the next section. We would start creating images for a number of projects. If you are excited to do that, I'll see you in the next step. Until then, bye-bye.